Hello and welcome. This is Jessica Loper, and you're listening to In the Flow and On Track. I'm here to help you stay in the flow and on track with your goals or whatever intention you have set for yourself for the year of 2025. Real quick, I do have to mention if you listened to my energy update yesterday, so today is March 11th at the time I'm recording this, and actually it was the 9th, so Sunday the 9th, I released my first weekly energy update that I've started doing. So if you haven't listened to that yet, I invite you to check it out if you're feeling called to. But I do have to correct myself because I did say one thing wrong on there. I had mentioned we had Mercury in retrograde, but it's actually not quite in retrograde yet. It will not be in retrograde till I believe Friday or Saturday. So you may be feeling like the retrograde, and I don't know, maybe that's why I thought, I had looked it up and obviously I looked at something wrong, but I think I kind of feel like we're already in that, so but it's okay, it's not a bad thing. I think I used to look at Mercury retrograde as kind of a negative, and over the years I've kind of learned to look at it as a time to just kind of step back and reflect and take care of unfinished business. It's it's here to help us. So with that being said, I just had to correct that. Let's get back to In the Flow and On Track. So I've kind of gone in a different direction as far as getting back to helping those of you who specifically want to create something, whether it's a form of giving back and just helping the world in like a volunteer type way, or if it's something more in the workforce or entrepreneurial, just, you're creating, you want to make a difference in the world. That's who I want to get back to specifically speaking to. But within that, I still want to continue with this series of In the Flow and On Track, because, setting your goals and sticking with them or reevaluating them is going to affect that area of your life as well. So you can just apply it as you see fit. I'm not going to stick to biweekly anymore just because I'm going to be doing the weekly energy update. That'll come out every Sunday or Monday, just to kind of give you a little preview of the week ahead, just what to pay attention to so you can navigate it with more awareness and ease, hopefully. So I think the In the Flow and On Track will just be as I feel led to. So I don't know, just whenever I feel like adding to the series. Could be once a month, could be twice a month, but so with that being said, let's recap. Where are you at with your goals for this year? Have you set any yet? I know at the beginning of the year I did mention, if you're not really feeling it, that's okay. You could just pick a word for the year or an intention for the year. You absolutely don't need to just set a bunch of goals January 1st. We can set goals anytime throughout the year. We can reevaluate them, redirect as needed. What's not working? What's working? And I think that's what I'll invite you to ask yourself today, is if you have set goals or an intention for yourself for the year, what is working? What have you done well with? For me, I set some goals around nutrition, health, and fitness, working on my business. And I can't say I've made any huge leaps, but I've continued just with kind of the baby steps. I've had some weeks where I, took a step back and didn't do much, wasn't feeling it, but I've always been able to get back in the flow, even if it's just a little bit. And I've actually come, even though I feel like I haven't maybe done as much content in it as I had hoped, or showed up online as much as I had hoped, like I have been, fairly consistent as far as recording putting out a video at least every couple of weeks. I did take a break at some point in there, but I know I also, for those of you who are creating content online or showing up online, I can't remember where I got this from. I don't know if it came up in a reading or it was just a video someone made that I was watching. I honestly can't remember where I heard this, or maybe it was even just a friend that said it to me. I really don't remember. But I saw something that said, it's okay to take breaks and, to step back, but you need to get to a point where you're not taking such long breaks to the point where you're like disappearing, right? And actually, I think you could apply that to any area of your life, whether it's fitness, wellness, relationships, business, whatever it is. When we think about consistency, there's a lot of pressure to just like go, go, go all the time, be consistent all the time. But I really think part of consistency is being okay with those times where you step back, but kind of figuring out how to step back or take a break without just completely falling off the wagon or completely disappearing, without totally just stopping everything you have going for like a really extended period of time. There's a difference between taking a week off and taking like months or years off, right? Not to like say if you have done that, it was wrong. Like I've definitely had times where I step back from creating content for like a year or more. I think I've done that like 3 times now in the past like 8 years. I'm trying to think, or 9 years. Like I've had some windows of time where I just like was not in the space to do it, and I had things that I needed to reflect on and heal through and take time for myself. But I just feel like I'm moving into this time and period where the message for me was, okay, take steps back, take breaks without disappearing. Because I need to learn how to navigate that better. It's like I put myself so in it and so much pressure on myself, and had disappointments and things that led me to a point of just not wanting to show up at all, right? So I'm still learning how to navigate that, and that message may be for some of you as well. Like, you're needed. You're needed to show up. You're needed to help others. And so rather than overdoing it, going too full in, having too high of expectations, almost like working too hard, like for lack of a better term, like don't work too hard to the point where you don't want to work anymore at all. And I don't mean like a job. It could be a job, but I mean work in the sense of whatever it is you're working on or whatever it is you're creating, tapping into. So, it's a journey. It takes time. And you're going to have to figure out what works for you, because my exact method is not going to be your exact method. But I think, especially with us coming into this eclipse energy and Mercury retrograde, definitely feels like the next few weeks are going to be more about stepping back and reflection, feeling your feelings, maybe tuning into some of the lessons that you're learning, remembering that it's all meant to help you. But yeah, don't feel that pressure to like surge ahead right now and get a bunch done. And when you do get back to full capacity of motivation, moving forward, pressing forward, maybe even setting some new goals for yourself, because we're getting into where we'll be hitting that spring equinox, which, new beginnings, it's probably probably feels better to most people to set your big goals then anyway. And I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, it's okay to step back, but when you do get back into that full force, moving ahead, setting some bigger goals, don't overdo it to the point that you just don't even want to do it anymore. That's my message for you today. All right, take care. I'll be back. We'll have the weekly energy update every Sunday or Monday, and then the in the flow and on track with your goals. Just be whenever I feel led to have an episode specific to that. All right, take care.